Hey guys, Dave here, and in today's video, you're gonna learn how to talk to girls like a man. If you do the things I'm about to tell you, you're gonna be able to connect with girls, flirt with them, and effortlessly keep the conversation going. Sound good? Let's do it. All right, man, number one is to use the right topics. Now, a good conversation topic does one of three things. First, it helps you to connect with her and makes her feel like she knows you better. To do this, you can use topics like her dreams, her experiences, and what kinds of things she loves to do. Second, it pushes the date forward by helping you escalate things and flirt with her. To do this, you can use fun topics like her favorite music, what she finds sexy in a guy, and what some of her favorite adventures have been. Third, it handles the logistics. In other words, it helps you to resolve any issues or time frames with taking her home or seeing her again later on. These are simple topics like what she's up to later on, what part of town she lives in, and what she's up to later on in the week. Hell, you can even ask if she works a ton so you can get a sense of how much free time she really has to hang out. Anyway, if the conversation doesn't do one of these three things, then it's probably not a conversation topic that you should bring up. By the way, man, if you want more help with talking to girls and using the right conversation topics, then make sure to check out my free video series. In it, you're gonna learn the exact things to say to flirt with girls and get dates. Just click the I in the top right corner or the link in the description to get instant access to the first video. By the way, quick story for you guys. This right behind me is my middle school. I went here back in the day and I used to stand right outside these steps before school when the bus would drop me off, and I was afraid to talk to people. I had to be one of the shyest kids in school. But you know what? Just because you're shy at one point, just because you're insecure at one point, doesn't mean you always have to be that way. So for all you guys who are still feeling shy, just know that it is possible to become super confident and do the kind of things you want to do in this life. Yeah, guys, I'm actually here in the park with my mom.
Hi.
What's up, Mom?
Hi.
It's getting kind of dark over here though, so I think we're gonna head home and I'm gonna finish the video tomorrow. But first, we're gonna play some badminton. What you think, Ma?
Yeah, let's do it, Dave.
I'm about to destroy her. Let's go. Good morning, guys. Let's keep the video moving. And it's time for number two, and that is to avoid bad topics. So we just talked about good topics, but just as important are the bad conversation topics that you need to avoid. These topics will kill attraction, send the conversation in a very weird direction, and make it a lot more difficult for you to connect with her. One example of a bad topic is cool shit that you own. It's just not as cool when you try bragging about the stuff that you own. I used to live on a houseboat in Boston Harbor. It was sick, it was elephant themed, it was awesome, but girls were not nearly as impressed about it as I thought they'd be when I told them. Man, the Lonely Island was all wrong.
I'm on a boat, everybody look at me 'cause I'm sailing on a boat.
Another one is politics and religion, and I group these two together because they're both really controversial and they both can drive a huge wedge in between you and the girl. It's best to just leave the Trump talk to Fox News and Saturday Night Live. Basically, you want to avoid conversation topics that are gonna either make you seem like a dick, cause an unnecessary argument, or are just gonna be kind of a buzzkill. We out here in Providence, guys, and it's time for number three, and that is to know when to change the subject. Now, if you do accidentally get on a bad topic, or if you can kind of get the sense that the topic you're talking about is sort of dying out, then you're gonna change the subject, bro. To do that, you can use one of the topics that we talked about in number one. So for example, if you're talking about her passions, you can switch it up and ask her an open-ended question like, where does she want to travel to next? You want to keep the conversation flowing, bro. So it's good to weave between topics. You don't want to just stay on every conversation topic until it dies out, because that is the seed of a boring ass conversation. By the way, man, if you like this video, then make sure to smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell, because I put out new videos every Tuesday and every Friday to help you talk to girls and crush it at life. All right, man, number 4 is to listen and relate. Now, the funny thing is most guys don't actually have conversations with girls. They just wait for the girl to stop talking so they can start talking at her. But don't do this, bro. Try to actually listen to the things she says, because the things she says help you to get to know her better and help you to be able to relate to her with things from your own life. For example, if she tells you about how she likes to cook, you could talk about how you just started cooking some awesome healthy meals that you love, and then you could ask her what kind of food she likes to cook. And then send her to the kitchen and get her to make you a sandwich. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I mean, I was just filming back there and like 4 skateboarders skateboard right up to me while I'm filming, and they're just like, yo, you wanna buy some crack? Peanut butter and crack. And it's time for number 5, and that is to talk about yourself the right way. Now, it's good to keep the conversation focused on the girl, but you gotta be able to talk about yourself at some point. A lot of guys do this the completely wrong way though. One thing they do is they give away too much too quickly, like an open book. And that's boring, bro. Instead, you wanna give away bits and pieces of who you are, but not the whole thing, so she's left wanting more. You're like an onion, bro. Let her peel back the layers, let her earn it, let her have some fun with it. Another mistake that a lot of guys make is they focus on stats and facts like job titles and salaries. The problem is that women don't connect with stats and facts. Pretty much nobody does. Women connect with emotions, and the way to make them feel something, the way to bring out those emotions, is to talk about yourself through stories. And that brings us to number 6, and that is to tell stories. Now, like I said, stories make people feel something, and she's gonna love that. But you have to tell good stories though. But you don't have to be George R.R. Martin, you know, writing up Game of Thrones to tell a good story. It's a lot easier than that. So one thing you could do right now is to think about some of the qualities you like most about yourself and consider, all right, what stories, you know, in my life illustrate those qualities well, and how do I tell them? For example, a story I like to tell is about when I first moved to Vietnam and I was scared out of my mind and I didn't know what to do. And in the end, I actually ended up liking it, and it ended up changing my life. And the reason I like this story is because it does showcase a lot of good qualities about myself, which is, you know, I like to travel, I like to go on adventures, and I can also deal with adversity well. And in terms of the telling part, the most important part of telling a story well is to tell it like you're living it. Don't tell the story like it's already over and everything turned out okay. Tell it like you're right there with her, experiencing the same emotions that you felt at the time that you were going through it. And then she's gonna be daydreaming about those stories while she's in the kitchen making you that sandwich. All right, anyway guys, I'm heading out of Providence. Let's head back to Cranston for number 7. We back, and it's time for number 7, and that is to turn the conversation back over to her. Talking about yourself and telling stories is nice, but you shouldn't be doing it the whole time. Matter of fact, the girl should actually be talking for the majority of the conversation. That gets her more invested in you and makes it a lot less likely that you're gonna trip up and say something dumb.
Thank God you're hot, because your jokes are not funny. I'm just not big on the whole women's rights thing. You know, I don't really see what that's all about.
So try to keep your stories concise and then turn the conversation back over to her to keep things flowing. For example, if you were just telling a travel story, you could ask her, what was your last fun travel adventure? All right, man, if you can do these things, then you'll be able to talk to girls like a man. And I promise it's gonna make you a lot more attractive to women. And if you wanna learn how to start a conversation with a girl, then check out this video right here. In it, you're gonna learn 5 easy ways to start a conversation with any girl you see. Anyway, I gotta run, but I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss it, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.